Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of coins from around the globe. Today we have something special from the time of British India, a coin that not only carries historical value but is also sought after in the collector's market today. First up, we're talking about the British India quarter anna from 1941, specifically in fine condition. This coin may seem small, but its value has grown considerably in the modern collector market. So, if you're curious to know how much this quarter anna coin is worth in dollars today, and why collectors are hunting for it, stay tuned. Before we get into the exact market value, let's explore the history of this iconic coin. The 1941 British India quarter anna was minted during the rule of King George VI, who was the last British monarch to appear on Indian coinage before India gained independence in 1947. The British Raj was nearing its final years, and coins like this one are a tangible reminder of India's colonial past. The coin is made of copper, and it was part of everyday currency in pre-independence India. These coins circulated heavily, which makes finding them in good or fine condition today somewhat of a challenge. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find a profile portrait of King George VI, with the inscription George VI King Emperor around it. This portrait was a common feature on British India coins from the late 1930s and 1940s. The reverse side of the coin features the denomination quarter anna surrounded by a decorative floral border with the year 1941 below. This intricate design, combined with the historical significance of the era, makes the coin a collector's item today. Now, the quarter anna coin was minted in limited quantities, but because of the passage of time, finding one in good or fine condition has become increasingly rare. The coin's value depends largely on its condition, and for today's video we're focusing on one in fine condition. Let's quickly clarify what we mean by fine condition. A coin in fine condition will show considerable wear, but the major details will still be visible. The portrait of the king might have some smooth areas and the edges may be worn, but the design remains recognizable. It's as pristine as higher grades like extra fine or uncirculated, but it still holds substantial value in the collector's market. Now let's talk about the market value. How much can you expect to get for a 1941 British India quarter anna coin in fine condition? Well, while the exact value can fluctuate depending on the demand among collectors, the general market range for this coin in fine condition is $166,000. So, why are collectors interested in this specific coin? Beyond the monetary value, it's the historical significance that attracts most buyers. The 1941 quarter anna comes from a pivotal time in Indian history just a few years before independence. The coin symbolizes a connection to both colonial rule and the approaching wave of change that would forever alter India's trajectory. Many collectors focus on building full sets of British India coins, making the quarter anna from 1941 an essential piece in completing that collection. British India coins cover a vast timeline, but the coins from the 1940s, just before independence, hold a unique place because they represent the final years of the British presence in India. This historical value adds another layer to the coin's desirability. Some collectors also appreciate the craftsmanship, as these coins were struck with significant detail, even for low-denomination coins like the quarter anna. The British India quarter anna 1941 coin in fine condition worth high, and it's a fantastic piece for anyone who values history, craftsmanship, and the story behind the coin. With prices ranging from $166,000, it's an affordable yet meaningful addition to any coin collection, especially for those interested in colonial-era Indian coinage. Next up, we're going to discuss a special coin from the United Kingdom that has piqued the interest of collectors around the world, the 1970 United Kingdom 5 new pence in very fine condition. We'll explore its history, unique features, and of course its value in today's collector market, especially in terms of US dollars. So if you're curious about how much this fascinating coin is worth today, stick around until the end. Let's start by looking into the historical context of the 5 new pence coin. The 5 new pence was introduced in 1968 as part of the United Kingdom's decimalisation effort, which officially replaced the old monetary system of pounds, shillings, and pence. The 5 new pence was equivalent to 1/20th of a pound and replaced the pre-decimal 1 shilling coin. The 1970 version, which we're focusing on today, is particularly interesting because it was minted during the final year before the coin's decimal system transition was officially completed in 1971. This made the 1975 new pence coin a collector's item since it was part of a turning point in British numismatics. Many collectors seek this coin not just for its historical value but also for its role in the larger narrative of the United Kingdom's economic history. The 5 new pence coin was struck in cupronickel, an alloy consisting of copper and nickel, making it resistant to tarnish and durable over time. Its weight is 5.65 grams and its diameter measures 23.59 mm. These specifications remained standard until the coin was reduced in size in 1990, making the original larger version like the 1970 coin even more collectible today. Now, let's talk about the condition. When we refer to a coin being in very fine condition, this means that the coin shows moderate wear from circulation, but the major details of the design are still sharp and visible. The coin's high points, such as Queen Elizabeth's hair and the thistle design on the reverse, might exhibit light wear, but the coin's overall appearance remains attractive. For collectors, condition is key when determining a coin's value. A coin in very fine condition will hold more value than a coin that's heavily worn, but less than a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition. Since the 1970 United Kingdom 5 new pence was particularly rare in its time, finding one in very fine condition that has retained much of its detail makes it more desirable on today's market. So, how much is a 1970 United Kingdom 5 new pence coin worth in very fine condition today in the collector's market? Well, the market value of this coin can vary depending on the demand condition and where it is being sold. For a 1970 United Kingdom 5 new pence coin in very fine condition, you can expect to see it priced $135,000 on the depending on the availability of the coin and the specific market at the time. Several factors can influence the value of the 1970 United Kingdom 5 new pence coin in very fine condition. Although the coin was minted in limited numbers, finding one in very fine condition or higher becomes rarer as time goes on, particularly with the larger original size. The demand for British decimal coins has grown, especially among collectors interested in pre-1990 versions before the coin size reduction. As demand increases, the value may also appreciate over time. The fact that this coin was part of the UK's decimalization process gives it additional historical value, making it an appealing choice for both new and experienced collectors. The general state of the collector's market can influence pricing. For instance, the popularity of British coins abroad, especially in the United States, can drive up prices in certain regions. While the 1970 United Kingdom 5 new pence in very fine condition may make you a fortune overnight, it holds undeniable value for collectors interested in British monetary history, particularly those drawn to the decimalization era. Its intricate design, historical context, and steady value make it a great addition to any collection. If you have a 1970 United Kingdom 5 new pence in your collection or are thinking about purchasing one, it's always a good idea to pay attention to market trends and consider the coin's condition before making any deals. You never know, this humble coin could grow in value as its historical importance continues to be appreciated over time. Next up, we're diving into a historical piece of Canadian currency, the Canada 1 cent coin from 1916. This coin holds a special place in the hearts of collectors, not just because of its age, but also due to its place in Canadian history and the intrigue surrounding its rarity. If you're wondering how much a Canada 1 cent 1916 coin in good condition is worth in today's market, you've come to the right place. So sit tight as we break down the fascinating background, the value, and the factors that influence its price. Let's kick things off with a little historical context. The Canada 1 cent coin from 1916 was minted during a period of global upheaval. World War I was raging on, and resources were being diverted toward the war effort. This coin was part of the George V series, which ran from 1911 to 1920. The 1916 version was minted at the Royal Canadian Mint in Ottawa. The design on the 1916 Canada 1 cent coin is iconic. The obverse features a portrait of King George V, who was the reigning monarch of the British Empire at the time. The reverse side showcases two maple leaves, which have become a national symbol of Canada, along with the denomination 1 cent, and the year 1916. Now, before we jump into the actual market value of the coin, we need to understand what good condition means in the world of numismatics or coin collecting. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state with various levels in between. For our purposes, a coin in good condition is one that shows significant wear from circulation, but still retains key details like the date and the main design features. For a 1916 Canada 1 cent in good condition, you'd expect to see quite a bit of wear on King George V's portrait, with some details potentially being smoothed out. On the reverse side, the maple leaves might show wear, and the edges of the coin could be more rounded than sharp. While this condition is not the highest on the grading scale, coins from 1916 are over 100 years old, and even in good condition, they can still be valuable to collectors who are trying to complete a set or who appreciate the history behind the coin. How much is a Canada 1 cent from 1916 in good condition worth today? As of now, the value of this coin in the collector market typically falls $357,000. The price can fluctuate depending on several factors, including current market demand, the seller, and the buyer's interest in Canadian coinage. As with any collectible coin, several factors can influence the value of a 1916 Canada 1 cent. As we've discussed, the better the condition, the more valuable the coin. Coins that have been well preserved and show minimal wear will always fetch higher prices than heavily worn examples. The fact that this coin was minted during World War I adds an extra layer of historical interest. Coins from this era carry the weight of history, which can make them more appealing to collectors interested in wartime memorabilia. The numismatic market can fluctuate, and the value of certain coins can rise or fall based on collector demand. Currently, early Canadian coins like the 1916 Canada 1 cent are experiencing a steady demand, keeping their value stable. The Canada 1 cent coin from 1916 is a fascinating piece of Canadian history, and even in good condition, it holds value for collectors today. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin represents a tangible connection to the past and the history of Canadian currency. Next up, we're exploring a piece of history from the days of the British Raj in India, the 1918 India British quarter Anna coin. We'll be taking a closer look at its historical significance and, most importantly, its market value in dollars for collectors today. If you have this coin in fine condition, you might be holding a small treasure in your hands. Let's dive right in. Before we talk about the value of the 1918 quarter Anna coin, let's first set the historical context. The quarter Anna coin was a small but significant denomination during British rule in India, and the 1918 edition is particularly notable because it was minted towards the end of World War I. At that time, India was still a colony of the British Empire, and its currency was heavily influenced by British economic and political policies. The quarter Anna coin was made primarily of copper, and it circulated widely among the Indian population for everyday transactions. The design of the coin is quite beautiful and reflects the intricate detailing often seen in coins from that era. On one side, you'll find the inscription of George V, King Emperor, referring to King George V, who was the British monarch at the time. The reverse side showcases the denomination quarter Anna, along with the year of minting 1918. Now let's talk about the market value of this coin today. In numismatics or coin collecting, the value of a coin depends on several factors, including its rarity, demand, historical significance, and of course its condition. In this case, we're focusing on a 1918 India British quarter Anna in fine condition. So, what does fine condition mean? A coin in fine condition will show signs of wear, especially on the high points of the design, but all the key details should still be visible. There may be some minor scratches or dings, but the overall appearance remains quite pleasing for collectors. Now, on to the value. The 1918 quarter Anna coin particularly rare, as millions of these coins were minted at the time. However, finding one in fine condition a century later can still fetch a respectable price in the collector's market. Based on recent auction sales and market trends, a 1918 quarter Anna in fine condition is typically valued $330,000 in the United States collector market. However, prices can vary depending on factors such as the demand from specific collectors or the provenance of the coin. Some examples in slightly better conditions may sell for a bit higher, while coins in lesser conditions will generally be at the lower end of the price range. The 1918 India British quarter Anna coin is a big and fascinating piece of history that holds value for both collectors and history enthusiasts alike. It may be the rarest coin in the world, its connection to British India and the time period make it a desirable item for many. In fine condition, it's worth $330,000, but with proper care, its value could grow over time. Next up, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of numismatic history, the British India quarter Anna from 1938. This coin, minted during the British rule of India, holds a unique place in the world of coin collecting. We'll talk about its design, history, and most importantly, its value in today's collector market, especially in very fine condition. So if you've got one lying around or are thinking of adding one to your collection, stick around because you'll want to hear this. First, let's talk about the history behind this beautiful coin. The quarter Anna was part of the British India currency system, which was in circulation during the time of British colonial rule. The 1938 issue is particularly significant because it was minted under the reign of King George VI, who ruled from 1936 until India gained independence in 1947. The coins from this era are highly sought after as they represent the closing chapters of British colonialism in India. The coin was made of copper and was relatively small but carried a lot of historical weight. The year 1938 also makes it notable as it came right before World War II, a time when many nations, including British India, were undergoing significant political and economic changes. Owning a coin from this period is like holding a piece of history in your hands. Now let's look at the design of the 1938 quarter Anna coin. On the obverse side, you'll find the bust of King George VI facing left, with the inscription George VI King Emperor surrounding his portrait. This design reflects the influence of the British monarchy over India during that time. On the reverse side, the coin displays the denomination quarter anna written in both English and Hindi, with India and the year 1938 at the bottom. The intricate patterns and bilingual text give this coin an appealing aesthetic, making it a favorite among collectors. The coin is relatively small, with a diameter of about 21.5 millimeters and weighs 4.85 grams. Its copper composition gives it a rich, reddish-brown appearance, though the color may vary slightly based on the condition and how well it's been preserved over the years. 3. What does very fine condition mean? When we talk about a coin being in very fine condition, what does that mean exactly? In coin grading, very fine refers to a coin that has been used in circulation, but still retains most of its major details. There might be some slight wear on the highest points of the design, but the images, lettering, and features are still quite sharp and clear. For the 1938 quarter anna, in very fine condition, you would expect King George VI's portrait to be well-defined, with some minor wear around the crown and face. The reverse side with the quarter anna inscription should also be legible, with only light wear visible on the edges and patterns. Collector market value today. Now let's talk about the part you've been waiting for: the value of this coin in today's collector market. The value of the British India quarter anna 1938 in very fine condition has been increasing steadily in recent years as more collectors turn their attention to coins from the British India era. The price can vary depending on the coin's condition, but a very fine specimen holds a significant place in the market today. In very fine condition, you can expect this coin to be worth anywhere between $266,000. This may sound like a fortune. It's important to remember that the quarter anna is a relatively common coin in lower grades, but finding one in very fine condition or higher can be more challenging. So, there you have it, an in-depth look at the British India quarter anna 1938 in very fine condition. This small copper coin holds a lot of history and has a growing appeal in the collector market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the quarter anna from 1938 is a wonderful addition to any collection, offering a tangible connection to the past. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another coin collecting update. Let me know in the comments below if you have any British India coins or if there are other coins you'd like me to cover. Thanks for watching and happy collecting.